Hi friends, so today I'm going to be doing a reaction to Amberlynn's latest live stream where she discusses Beck and the allegations that Beck has come out with. Before I do that though, I do want to say thank you so much to Hexacana for shouting my channel out, and thank you so much to everyone who has come over from Hexacana's channel and subbed to me and viewed my videos and was commenting to me. I really appreciate it, and I just want to say I think that it is so nice see a community that Amber thinks is so toxic and full of hatred come together and welcome me and be so friendly to me. And I'm just so excited to see all of you and read your guys' comments. Let's go ahead and get into the reaction.
Don't do this. You are better than them. They want this. I'm not better than anybody. They're not better than me. I'm not better than them. I'm so much better than majority of you.
I really thought that she was just going to leave it at that. I didn't think that she was going to take that jab, but that was my mistake for giving her the benefit of the doubt. We all know that she does clearly think that she is better than everybody else in this situation, hence why I put the Snapchat rant in there. Mind you, this happened like the first 10 freaking minutes of this live stream, so if this stream really was just about taking accountability, don't you think that you wouldn't be taking jabs at the people who are coming up with these allegations against you?
Text from Beck saying, last fucking warning, stop talking about me. All you do is talk shit about me, and I just want to forget you and all of the bullshit. I will stop being silent if you don't, and I'm not the only one who has a lot to say about you. Final fucking warning. Take my name out of your mouth and I can get the law involved. Okay, that's fair.
I think it is fair for Beck to be saying that, considering the amount of times that you did talk about them when they asked you not to. You even came on a video yourself and said, Beck does not want me talking about them anymore, and so I will no longer be talking about them. And yet still continue to post about them on your Instagram story, blaming them for your cancer, and also being in live stream chats talking about them. You've discussed them on multiple platforms, multiple different occasions. So yes, they do have the right, when truthfully it's probably quite embarrassing to be associated with you, considering the amount of abuse you did put them through. So yes, I would also be frustrated and come at you aggressively if you did not shut the fuck up about me. Truthfully, in my opinion, Beck waited too damn long, not considering at all their time that they needed to heal from their experience with Amberlynn. But if I was Beck and you talked about me one more fucking time after I told you not to, those fucking parachute granny panties would have been aired the fuck out.
Here's the screenshot. And obviously I crossed out everything else because obviously that's personal. So that's fair. Okay. So I stopped talking about them. And
you didn't. You did not stop talking, and that is what frustrated the fuck out of Beck.
That text was kind of after I said the proposal story, and in the proposal story, I didn't even say Beck's name.
You are seriously stupid as fuck if you think that we would not put that together. It was so clear. Just because you did not mention Beck's name does not mean that you weren't talking about them.
And obviously everyone knew what it was about, so that's my bad. And I shouldn't have done that. But at the time, I felt okay, if they're allowed to make videos and say what they want, I should be allowed to as well. So Beck...
The reason why they're allowed to, and it's pretty wrong for you to, is because they're the victim in this situation and you are the abuser. And you are also the aggressor. You continue to put their name in negative light on the internet day after day, and they just took it until eventually they blew the fuck up and exposed your ass.
Obviously sent that, so I was okay. All right. So I did stop talking about them. And I think what was hard at the time for me was Beck.
What was hard for you, the abuser? That's not how it works. Nobody cares to hear the side of the abuser.
Started making videos about me while telling me, don't talk about me, keep my fucking name out your mouth or I'm going to get the law involved. Nervous. I am absolutely detached from myself. So if I laugh, giggle, whatever it may be, it's because I'm extremely detached from this whole situation.
I find it ironic that she suddenly is discussing her disassociation with things at a time in which Beck just discussed that they were disassociating in the relationship. So of course, suddenly Morphlin has to come in and also be disassociating.
Is it difficult handling the situation when you've said you wanted to handle it privately and they keep making it public / responding? Yes, that's obviously a very different and hard type of situation to be doing, because like I really want to, like, I would love to have like a conversation with Beck offline. Like Beck can have their partner there, friends, family, a whole slew of people, and I can be by myself. Like whatever would make them feel comfortable.
You want to have a conversation in private with Beck because you can spin the narrative that way. If you do it in public where everyone is criticizing you and can hold you accountable to your actions, you will not be able to spin the narrative. And so that's why you want to have a private conversation with Beck. Also, let's stop pretending that you actually give a fuck about Beck. You did it when you had a relationship with them, so why now?
Whatever can make them feel comfortable, safe, whatever it may be. Because like doing this online like is a lot, because the thing, like I get like in my videos, because I look back, I see in some of my videos I was like pretty harsh to Beck, and for that I'm sorry, especially like doing it publicly. Like it's pretty awful, really.
Okay, so I want to give kudos to her for saying that she is sorry, but when I saw this, made me question if she was willing to act that way towards Beck on camera and upload it for the entire world to see. I can't imagine the things that were done in private to Beck or was said to Beck.
But like the things that happen like not online, like I would love to be able to like have that conversation, like, but it's not going to happen. So there's not much I can really do about that.
That conversation isn't going to happen because of your unwillingness to stop talking about them. They are at a point, I'm sure, where they just don't care to be civil with you. If you were to do this maybe a few months after you guys broke up, I feel that maybe Beck would be more inclined to have that conversation with you privately, but you decided to continue to drag their name through the mud for years.
I know a lot of people are like, you are not a victim. I'm not saying I'm a victim. I'm saying that there's two people in this story, and one of them isn't being honest about the situation at hand. I found a text message.
I'm not saying that I'm a victim. You are saying you're a victim. By saying that Beck has been lying is showing that you are a victim. You're trying to spin the narrative to make people believe that it wasn't all good for both of you. You both weren't good to each other. I can see Beck not being good to her either, but I don't think it is to the extent that Amber is portraying, nor do I think it is to the extent that Amber was to Beck. I would assume that in this scenario, that if Beck was not nice to Amber, then that probably came out of resentment.
Message of a situation that like I didn't even remember happening, and it just made me realize that like I'm not perfect. Beck wasn't perfect. Like I was super controlling of their time, of like their energy. I always wanted them near me, like always. Like it was crazy, and I'm able to admit that, and I'm sorry for that, and that's wrong. Beck is their own individual.
Pat on the back, I suppose, for saying that you were sorry. But again, I don't want to give her too much credit because the clips that are about to come just further proves the whole victim complex.
Their own person, and they could do whatever the fuck they want. And for some reason at the time, it felt like I needed them always. And I'm able to realize that I was not perfect. And it's like, I hate like having to do like two things at once, because it makes me feel like my apology or my accountability isn't real, but it is. Like what I'm about to say does not take away from that, and I need people to hear it. I need people to hear that. And so anyways, I was going through and I was looking for proof of something, which I'll show you. And it's like there was this text message I saw where I like sent a big long message to Beck saying like how I felt. It's actually on my other phone. If you guys want to see, I can get up and go get it. In it, I was saying how like I like quoted some things that Beck said to me. And one of the things was, I wrote down in my notes, at least my family didn't do drugs. Like Beck would say things like that to me, and I forgot that.
There's two interesting things that I kind of want to point out here. One being that Amber claims that this is something that Beck said to her while in a relationship with her. Let's say this is true. I mean, I, again, feel that this is probably coming from a place of resentment because Beck had to be a caregiver for so long, and the relationship they once thought was going to be romantic turned into a caregiver relationship. And so, no, I don't think that this was right of Beck to say, but in comparison to the things that we're discussing Beck having to do for Amberlynn, I don't really think that it is all that bad. And the second being that suddenly Amber doesn't remember things in the relationship, like, oh, I forgot this happened to me, I forgot this is what Beck said, knowing that this is the exact same phrase that Beck said when discussing the relationship with Amberlynn, because Beck went through something so traumatic that they forgot. So to me, that feels like Amber's like, oh my gosh, this was so traumatic for me, I just forgot this happened.
They even said that to me until I was looking at a text message from like, I think it was like 2020, and I was like, holy fuck. And it's things like where it just, neither of us were happy. A part of me fucking wishes that it was just me. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, a part of me wishes it was just me who was not a good girlfriend, not a good this, not a good that, because then it would just be so much easier for me to come on here and be like, yep, everything that Beck is saying is 100% true, and this is like exactly how it is. But it's not reality. So what you talk about Destiny's brother on drugs, yes, that was a very, very low point of me, and I should have never done that, and I'm sorry for that. That was a very bad look, and it was horrific because, like, you guys,
she just got done talking about how, oh my god, I can't believe Beck told me that at least my family doesn't do drugs. But yet, what, a few summers ago, she called out Destiny's family for doing drugs. So it was okay for her to do it then, but Beck couldn't do it. And also, she said that text message was from 2020. We know for damn sure she said that shit to Destiny about her brother well after 2020. So I think that she only apologized here because she got called out and was like, oh, that kind of looks shitty of me. Let me just apologize for that real quick.
Know that I have like addicts in my family, and I should have never, ever done that. I thought you only have one phone. I do actually, but I use one phone, which is this guy. I went into my storage unit and I got my phone.
Isn't it funny how she says that she has only one phone, but then switches it up quickly to, well, I only use one phone, but I do have two.
From when I was actually dating Beck. So I went all the way to my storage unit and got it, plugged it in, charged it. Who diagnosed you with BPD and when? So it was actually when I was seeing the psychologist. It was around the era of when I was like getting my weight loss surgery. I was with Feline at the time. So it was 2023. It was, I would say maybe March of 2023, like around that area. And that was when they were like, okay, so you meet the criteria because there's like 9 criterions, whatever. And they were like, but you need to see someone who like specifically can help you with this, because my psychologist at the time did not. And I never saw anyone until now.
I think that this is so weird because she states that someone was able to diagnose her but not treat her for her condition.
Were you completely unable to recognize how Beck felt and their emotions for the entirety of your 4-year relationship? Well, you have to be more specific, because sometimes I did know exactly how they felt because they told me. And I'm realizing that there was a lot of times that they lied. I think a really good example of that would be like Choosy, or like when they would give me like the anxiety massage. Like, it's just like partner, emotional regulation, like making your partner feel good. And
so she states that she obviously didn't know Beck was feeling, but she did know sometimes. But in her first response to Beck, where she gave a really fucking shitty apology, she straight up says, I had absolutely no idea that that's how they felt. But here she's saying, well, sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't.
Safe and loved, and things that I would also do for them. Like, they really liked when I would do this. So that was like my thing that I did for them. And it's like, I'm realizing that it wasn't that at all. It was, I almost feel like I was a burden to them. And
babes, you were a burden because they were your caregiver. you were a burden because they wiped your fucking ass and they cleaned up after you and they dealt with all of your bullshit and mean things that you said to them. Of course you were a burden. Who the fuck wants to wake up and be a caregiver all day to their partner and then wanna lay down in bed at night and then somebody taps you on the fucking shoulder and asks you to pick lint off their back?
Moments that I thought we were actually genuinely bonding. Like, that's the part that's like hard for me to like wrap my head around, I think. Do you owe Beck $6,000? No. So I guess we can talk about the inheritance. I did talk about this in my members only, but obviously not everyone saw that. So in my members only, I talked about how Beck is saying that I took the inheritance. Me and Beck had a joint account. Okay, so this is where a screenshot comes in. So I'm glad we're talking about this. Me and Beck had a joint account and it was originally her bank account, their bank account. I'm sorry, I'm getting really flustered. My apologies. So it was originally their bank account. And when we got together, I ended up going on their bank account together. So we were joint bank accounts. So any money that either of us both received went into one full-fledged, one area. In a recent, I don't know if it was video, live stream, I forget what it was. Beck said how they didn't even have the means to look at the bank to see how much money was in there, that they had to use my debit card, that I had my own private thing. Those are not true statements. I have a screenshot. I was not able to get into the bank ever. I have so many screenshots of wondering how much did I get paid. I would text Becky and
I think this is complete bullshit. So you're gonna tell me that you jumped on somebody else's account, never had the means to look at the bank account, knowing that you were the main breadwinner, and then on top of that, you want to claim that you weren't controlling over the finances, but there's been multiple clips where you say, yeah, but who paid for that? We know that happened with the car. We know that you argued over a mattress. I just don't think that it's believable. And also, she claims that this was a joint account that she had absolutely no access to, but she's the one that kept the bank account that was originally Beck's.
Literally asked that. I'd be like, how much did I get paid, etc., etc. And Beck would literally send me screenshots of our bank. So I have everything crossed off that's like personal information, but this is just proof that that was a lie from Beck, an absolute lie. I said, how much money is in the bank? And here's a screenshot that says, hi, Rebecca, like, etc., showing how much money we had in the bank, because I was not able to get into it. I was never able to see how much went in there, how much I got paid, unless I looked on my AdSense, which is part of YouTube, and that's how you get paid. I was never...
Truthfully, I think that this screenshot exists because she was probably just too damn lazy to open the bank app.
Able to see any of that. And we had our own separate debit cards that were in the joint account together. Any money that Beck received would go into the same spot that my money went to, because again, it was joint. I didn't have private anything. This is probably the one of the biggest lies. It has left my jaw on the floor. All right, I don't want to accidentally show any of my other pictures. That'd be hectic. So here we have it where I say how much money is in the bank. So here it says, hi, Rebecca, because this is their account, literally their account right here, which we shared, but I could not get into it. So I have so many screenshots of Beck sending me screenshots of the bank because I couldn't see it. So it's like, it's things like that like has left me my jaw on the floor. Beck says that they wiped me. Okay, so story time on that. Beck started wiping me after my hysterectomy, and it continued on after that. This part is embarrassing, and this part I am going to be accountable. Here we go. Accountable Lynn coming in at you. So my hysterectomy. Okay, so wiping. Okay, I'm so embarrassed. Holy fuck. Wiping for me has always been extremely hard as a bigger girl, obviously. If you were bigger, my size, it's hard. When I was about to get my hysterectomy, that was a big thing for me that I was like, how am I going to be able to wipe myself? Because it's hard already. I'm not going to be able to. So this is something that I was like, at the time, I was like, Becky, like, are you going to be able to do this for me? Like, I'm really embarrassed about it. And they were like, of course, like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. So when I was healing, I physically could not do it. Like, physically could not do it. And so Beck did it for me. And so did my mom. Me and my mom would laugh about it though, because it was just like, okay, you did this for me as a baby and now you're doing it for me as an adult. So it was an embarrassing type deal, but so me not being able to wipe for, it was like honestly a few weeks, and already something that was already so hard for me, I kind of lost the ability to do.
It's so interesting to hear her say something that was so hard for me. Like, it wasn't her choice. Like, as if she had no say in that to begin with. I'm not talking about the hysterectomy. I want to kind of excuse the fact that she was being wiped during the healing process of her hysterectomy because it is an abdominal surgery, but I think that there were better options. She could have bought a bidet attachment. I understand that it is probably necessary for someone to help her, but I'm just saying that there are likely better options than having somebody else do it.
I was literally shook because I remember when I was noticing like my healing was getting better, like everything was going great, like I was able to do all sorts of things again and all this stuff, and like the healing was just going perfect. And I was like, holy fuck, wait a minute, I like have lost the ability to like do this. And obviously after time,
girl, you didn't lose your fucking arm, you lost your uterus. There was no way you were incapable suddenly after your hysterectomy.
I was able to figure that out again, thankfully. But I would say Beck wiped me for, I would say, a good 9 months. And it's really embarrassing. And I know a lot of people are going to forever make this a meme. I also did
9 months or 9 fucking minutes. It's still too fucking long.
Did very embarrassing things for Beck. Like, that's what you do when...
Okay, that's another thing. I'm taking accountability that I did have her wipe me, but it was only for 9 months, and I did things just as gross for them. You're not taking accountability if there's a butt and then a jab. That's not accountability, Amber.
You're in a 5-year relationship. Like, that is what you are going to do, period.
I've been with my husband for 7 years now. Not once have I wiped his ass. Not once have I bathed him. Did anything associated with this personal hygiene. So no, it just doesn't come with a long-term relationship. Just comes down to you just not wanting to do it, Amber.
Period. You are going to help the person that you love, and you're going to be there for them. You're going to be there for them if you love them. And I'm truly embarrassed about it, because moral of the story is it's my fault because of my size. Because if it wasn't for my size, like, that would have never have had to happen. And I'm sorry that I would ever put anyone in that sort of situation to have to do that. And I'm forever grateful that like they were there for me during like that fucking scary time. I'm not gonna lie. But then this goes down to people asking like, did Feline do that? No, because like I said, Beck did it for the like, because eventually I was able to do it again. And I want to make it
the way she smiles after stating, because I was able to do it again eventually, it's just so gross. Like, she's proud of herself to be able to wipe herself again.
Very, very clear that that is the only thing they helped me with. Like, back in 2019, they got me a bucket with some water twice to like help wash myself, because that was during a hard time as well. But never ever once did I have...
Damn, bedbound for like what, a whole year, and she only sponge bathed twice?
Them bathe me, shower me. That never happened. We can say that like I was abusive and controlling, because I was very controlling of their time. And I'm very, very so sorry for that. But never once have I ever been financially abusive. We have been equally so bad with money. That's why I have nothing to literally show for anything, because we would spend so much money.
The fact that you both spent a lot of money has nothing to do with the fact that you likely were still financially abusive. We have heard things from your own fucking mouth where you have held money over their head. So don't give me this bullshit.
Both of us, constant. Like, they were allowed to buy what they want when they wanted. Like, I literally bought them a car. Like, I bought them a car.
Babes, because you needed a chauffeur. Who else would you have bought the car for, bitch? Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call her a bitch, but damn. Who else would you have bought it for? You're not fucking driving it. Of course you had to buy them a new car. You probably fucked up the suspension on the old one.
I'm that type of person where you guys have even seen it. You guys have seen it. You guys have called me out on my shit. I buy love. And I have gotten so much better with that, especially because like the last like 6 years of my life, 7 years of my life, 8 years actually. What am I saying? Like the last like 8 years of my life, like I have bought people with money. I have bought love. I have bought friendships. I have bought laughter. I have bought time with people because of money. And that's how it's always been. I have never been a greedy person when it comes to money. It's almost like I got a kick out of giving people money and like going on.
We know you are in fact greedy with your money. There are multiple instances where you are. And then also, Alexis has come out and said that you are greedy as hell with your money and that you never paid for anything.
Shopping sprees and like doing all these sorts of things. So it's like, what? Beck said how I always went through their phone and how I would never let them go through mine. Half of that is true. Half of that is not true. So something I was really bad with due to like trust issues, but it doesn't even matter otherwise. We're not going to even just erase that I just said that. I would go through Beck's phone. Yes. And I also did it to past partners as well. Not a good look. Very not a good look. I was always, I'm not even going to say why. It doesn't matter why. I did it and I'm sorry. That's controlling. That's wrong. It's wrong. Point blank period. I should not have ever done that. Like there's no reason. But the part about Beck saying they were never allowed to go through my phone, they were never allowed to read my journals is a lie. I have proof. A very old journal. And if you guys know,
Okay, so this was the most miserable part of the live stream, to be truthful. She's essentially saying that Beck is lying because they said they could never go through my phone. They could never go through my journal, whatever. I'm talking about how I'm not going to be sharing this with Beck anymore. Okay, whatever. That erases maybe half of the statement that you claim is a lie, but not the other half. There still is the discussion about the phone.
You guys know, if you watch my vlogs, you guys know I've showed this like a million times before. So this journal is from June 18th, 2021 to December 9th, 2021. And I have showed this in multiple vlogs. So this isn't like a fake story time, nothing like that. I saved the spot and everything. On July 24th, of 2021. I wrote this. I think I'm done reading this journal to Becky. This shit has gotten kind of deep and I want to go even deeper. There are some things I don't want Becky knowing, mainly because I'm embarrassed. I want to be able to write in this journal as if it's absolutely no one is going to read it. This is the best way to write. I haven't told Becky she will no longer be reading this journal, but I should probably tell her soon. I just kind of feel bad about it, even though I shouldn't. Behind my back, like Beck admitted to using me for money, and that is the only reason why they were with me. And Beck literally called me a fat fucking bitch. And that,
I mean, did they lie?
Genuinely shocked me. And obviously you guys probably know who the mutual friends are. Let's be real. But like,
okay, so she's discussing Eric and Ricky. We all know that Eric and Ricky are fucking stakes. So obviously they're gonna create drama between you guys. Like, I don't think Eric or Ricky, well, specifically Eric, is someone that you should trust.
Like, Beck would, like, during an argument would say kind of harsh things, obviously, but never like vulgar. So when I heard like using me for money, like low key, it felt like it made sense to me because I would tell them like, get a job. Like, I could tell you're bored, because once we moved from the home where we had roommates and we were living with friends, like obviously it was different. Like, we always had something to do. But when it was just me and Beck, like I was like, get a job. Like, are you joking? And so they tried Uber, but they only did it like twice. Do you feel like?
I think that's very bold of Amber to assume that they could even get a job, considering Beck was the one wiping her ass anyway. Like, what happens if Amber goes takes a fat Dukes in the fucking toilet and then Beck's at work? Like, Beck's not gonna rush home to wipe her ass, you know? Like, she's just gonna stink up the whole fucking apartment until Beck gets back, and then Beck's gonna have to clean it up.
Beck is still abusing you. I don't feel abused by them, and I don't know. No. Did you ban Beck from watching
Amber goes, I don't think they abused me. I think she took a pause. I cut out the pause. What I think she was gonna say was that she thinks that she didn't abuse Beck either. But I mean, that's pure speculation.
Action channels? No, because here's another thing that I thought was really weird. Beck literally doxed Zachary Michael's like full name in one of my YouTube videos, and there's literally a clip of it, and I was like so confused because I didn't even know Zach's full name. Like, how did Beck know it over me? I was beyond confused. So that's obviously something else that isn't true.
They know their name because you probably talked so much shit about them.
Like, keeping score shit is very immature. So like, I think it's only fair, like when you're in a relationship, like you can be accountable for things and also share your side of the story. Like, that goes for both of us. Like, why is it only okay for them to share their story, but I'm not able to? And a lot of people are like, well, it's because you're an abuser. Beck is like a victim. Remember when I shared my story about Casey, and I still stand by every single thing I said.
So she's really doubling down on the Casey shit.
About Casey. I still stand by that. No one believed me. No one believed a single thing I said. That has been one of of the most torturous things that I've ever gone through in my actual lifetime.
I think that the reason why a lot of people don't believe you, Amber, is because, one, you had already a track record of lying on your channel prior to this story coming out and Casey's response. Another thing I think that contributes to people not believing her, the stuff that came out after the allegation. So her contacting Casey to ask about like sex and shit like that. Like, she claims this relationship was so incredibly toxic, it was physically abusive. You don't seek that person out again. You don't go and seek advice from that person. And another thing is her body language. It's so easy to read in that video that she's lying. Her eye movement, her just the way she's laughing about it.
And no one believed a single thing that I said. I am always, in the eyes of everyone else, the abuser to everybody. I never have my own story.
You have continued to prove to the internet that you are the abuser. That's why you're labeled as one.
I'm never giving up this whole weight loss thing, but like I watched Zachary's video from today and I'm talking about Weight Watchers and he's just rolling his eyes the whole time. It's just like, I'm never gonna be like this perfect person. Like I'm looked at like I'm supposed to be perfect and I'm not going to be. I'm genuinely not. Like I said in my members live stream that Beck and I were friends for a year after we broke up and that Beck did not want me telling anyone, obviously, because of backlash. And so then Salty Crab literally said that in their video and Beck was reacting and Beck was like, that never happened. We were not friends at all. I never said that. Never said that. So I have a screenshot of that being true. So I'm going to read it and then I'm going to show it. So it was April 17th, 2022, which is almost a year after we broke up. I sent Beck, I am literally getting harassed because people think I lied about us still being friends. Why can't I just tell them I wasn't lying? This sucks so bad. And Beck said, it's best that they don't know. As sad as it is, that would kill my channel. I do not want them knowing because they'll just make it an even bigger, more messy thing. I'm going to address that I saw you and have the rings, but we don't hang out, dude. That's just how it has to be. That's what they have to know because YouTube is my only income and I'm only getting $200. And at the time, Beck was saying that they had a job, even though they didn't. And I said, but what about the backlash I'm getting for lying, even though I'm not lying? And Beck said, if this comes out, it would be even less. Talking about money. You guys never...
I don't think personally that they were as close as she thinks they were during that time.
Or even had sex. I don't know who said that, but me and Beck definitely had sex, like in the beginning especially. And then once I started having my cancer symptoms, the sex obviously stopped. But then it was 2 months before they broke up with me. We did the deed.
I included this because I thought that it was ironic. She said that they had sex all the time, that they had sex in the beginning, and then once she had cancer symptoms, it stopped for a while, but that they had sex again after her hysterectomy, whatever. They both came out on a live stream and said, yeah, like we haven't had sex in years. Like we haven't had sex in a long, long time.
I'm the type of person that I will not have sex with someone unless we're in a relationship. I will not have sex with you unless I love you or I feel that feeling of falling in love with you. Like I can't find you like super, like I can look at someone and be like, damn, they're attractive, damn. But I like literally can't look at someone and be like, oh, I want to have sex with you unless I literally love you or unless I'm in a relationship with you. So it was April. It was the second time I've ever met Beck in person. We're staying the night with me and we were making out on my bed and they were trying to go further than that. And I literally told them right then and there, I had to be like nice about it. I was like, I can't do this unless like I'm actually in a relationship with someone. That's just like how it's always been for me. Like when it comes to physical in-person intimacy, I don't know what it is. That's just how it's always been. It was not an hour later. That was when Beck asked me to be their girlfriend. I don't know why.
Did you see the smile after she said, not even an hour later, Beck asked me to be their girlfriend? I think that she smiled there because she knows how it's going to sound to the viewers. Like she knows that this is going to make Beck to be a manipulator. If this was the case, then yes, it would be pretty manipulative, but also just by the smug look on her face and her being all happy and giddy about out that shit just kind of shows me that she knew what she was doing when she said that and was just trying to make Beck look like a manipulator.
People keep saying microchip your pets when I literally just took them to the vet. Do you guys not remember that? They are microchipped.
That is honestly so fucking stupid for her to be like, do you guys not remember? Do you not remember all the comments underneath saying, did you microchip them? Because your dumbass didn't include that they were microchipped. You just said that they went in there, had their yearly checkup, and that they were healthy. That was it. You didn't at all mention that they were microchipped, and people were pissed off that you didn't.
I've been so anxious. I have been just like, I don't know, just feeling awful. Like anxious and like it feels constant fight or flight. Like I don't know how much more like my heart can actually.
You're feeling like this, babe, because you're getting dragged to hell. Like, I truthfully think this might be the end.
Did your hair get matted and did Beck help with that? Yeah, one time.
Girl, if you were bedbound for a fucking year at least, we know for damn sure that fucking hair was matted as fuck. Also, I don't think I included this, but she denied the choker cheese allegation. Come on, if you're not bathing and you're just rotting away in bed all day, you're gonna get some buildup of some nasty shit.
My chest looks like a Christmas ham all tied up. Okay.
Okay, this was the funniest fucking comment.
Would you let a grown man stranger hang out with your little sister? If you're talking about Nick and Libby, it is a weird situation. Nick was 18, Libby was 16. It is kind of weird looking at it like but 18 and 16, it's 2 years difference. I guess I would feel a little uncomfortable.
Okay, so she semi-addressed the Libby situation. She also said that she deleted those videos that had Libby in it because people, which she's referring to the ankle, was pushing a narrative that she was a PDF file, and also said that I can't talk too much about this because I have a lawyer. She's claiming here that Nick was only 18 and Libby was 16, but somebody corrects her and said that Nick was like 26, some shit like that. Like she says like, oh yeah, then that is wrong.
You're right about that. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, he was only 18. Yeah, he wasn't even able to drink. Yeah, he was young. Is she high off Delta 8? No, I haven't been high in almost 2 months.
Okay, so now we've come to my favorite part. She says that she hasn't been high off Delta 8 in 2 months. But I remember something in a video recently where she was reminiscing with her mom, but really she was just trying to make her mom feel guilty for her childhood. And that video was only 3 weeks ago. So let's say it was pre-recorded. That'd probably be at max 2 weeks. So maybe 5 weeks ago. So definitely not 2 months. Let's just watch the clip. Obviously, you can see the smoke there coming from Amber's side. And that video was as of yesterday, 3 weeks ago. So at max, probably 4 weeks if it was pre-recorded, 4 or 5 weeks if it was pre-recorded. So another lie, an easy one too. But yeah, that's gonna conclude the reaction. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.